Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. This is take 2. I thought I'd got everything set out so that I could explain everything without confusing you, but I finished up confusing myself as well, so I had to start again. Alright, so bear with me. The problem is with starting again after my first video has gone like quite a little way through is I can't remember what I said in the first one, which I said in the second one, so if I repeat myself, forgive me. Right, okay, so this is the card we're going to be making. It's called a vertical freestanding card, and it opens like that and stands like that. Okay, it's a beautiful idea. There's loads of videos on YouTube showing you how to make this, and varying sizes as well. My size here is a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, which is can be made out of A4 cardstock. I will try and work out the inches for letter size cardstock, which would be a 5.5 by 5.5, which should be okay to work out, I think. All the measurements will be in the box below the video. And for envelopes for this, I would just buy a 6 by 6 because there's quite a bit of thickness there. So, you know, if there was a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, I suspect it might be too small. My first card that I made was the regular C6 size, and that opens like that. But I just felt that that was a bit on the small side. I will put the measurements for this one in the box below as well, just in case you prefer the smaller one. And the designer series paper, as usual for my test card, is the Flight and Airy DSP, which was a celebration product last February, January, February. And this was the second test card I did to get the larger size. And again, same design series paper, Flight and Airy. And this time I put the panel into this one. Okay. So hopefully to avoid confusion, I have split this card into 3 sections, and I'll tell you the card pieces you'll need for the card, what I'm calling card number 1. And card number 1 is this bit that folds, okay, and that one and that bit there. That's card number 1. Card number 2 is that back panel there. Got some glue on it. And panel number 3 is this one here. Okay, designer series paper is the Seasons of Green and Gold, and it's an online exclusive only paper. I showed it to you about 3 or 4 videos ago because I don't do online exclusives for videos because they're only available while stocks last. But when I showed you, a lot of you agreed with me, it's really lovely paper, and asked me if I would use it, so I am. I know it's still available at the moment, so if you like it, please get it sooner rather than later, just in case it runs out. I'm going to do exactly the same as this for my card now, but I am changing, rather than doing all gold designs from the paper, I'm using some of the green designs. So let me tell you the card pieces you're going to need for card 1. The base measures 11.5 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And then for the 4 panels here, you will need 3 of these. And the gold measures 1 5/8 inches by 5.5 inches. And the designer series paper measures 1 1/2 inch, no, yeah, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 5 3/8 inches. I'll repeat that. The gold is 1 5/8 inches by 5.5. The design series paper is 1.5 by 5 3/8, and you need 3 of each of those. I've already done this bit. Okay, so that's with those 3. You don't need a piece for that one. Right, to get the 4th panel on your actual card, you need 1 gold piece, that measures 1 7/8 inches by 5.5 inches, and one designer series paper piece that measures 1 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. Right, got that right. For the centre piece here, you need a gold layer on the outside, and that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. The very vanilla on top measures 3 5/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. Now the little decoration that I've done there, I've used a retired punch from Stamping Up, and it was that little bit there that I've done. So if you've got any kind of corner punches that you like to use, do go ahead and do it. So I'm going to score this, and then I'm going to take over where I got to last time. Let's get my trimmer so that I can do my scoring. So make sure your cutting blade is out of the way. Line this up at 1 7/8 inches and score. Move along to 3 3/4 inches and score. So that has given you two panels which are 1 7/8 inches wide. Take your cardstock out, turn it 180 degrees, put it back in and do the same to this end. So it's 1 7/8 and 3 3/4. And the reason I tell you to do it this way, rather than giving you the measurements of whatever these are further along, it means that these are definitely going to be 1 7/8 inches, 1 7/8 inches, and these and these. Okay, the bit in the middle isn't going to meet up, there's going to be a gap in it, so it doesn't matter if that's a tad out, but it will be noticeable if your panels here are. So fold that one over as a valley fold, making sure you line up equally both sides. The next one is a mountain fold. Again, line your cardstock up beautifully, give it a good burnish, turn it around, and then do the same this end, line it up, burnish, turn it over and fold the other way. Okay, so you'll finish up with a card that looks like that, and you'll see there is a definite gap there. That is fine. Now we'll just do one of these. I'll take the narrow one. That's right. Yes. You can use whichever glue is your favourite. Mine is still Tombow. And then when you've got 3 of these done, you adhere it to that panel, and that panel. Not that one, because you're going to adhere card number 3 onto that. Now I'm doing this because I can go back later on and, well, not today, but later on this week to finish this card off, so that's another Christmas card done for me. Okay, so there we go. So imagine by magic I've done these 3 and I now have this piece. And this one is going to be going in the centre there, which is plenty of room to write your sentiment, or if you wanted to stamp a verse in there, Christmas verse, or if you're doing yours as a birthday card actually, if you want to put a verse. There we go. So that's that piece done. Doesn't need anything else at the moment. I'll bring that one back so I don't forget it. Now card number 2. I think I found doing card number 3 easiest, didn't I? But I can't do. No. Okay. Ignore me while I talk to myself. Now this piece, we need to adhere this on top. And we're going to put these there and there. So I'm going to pop these on first because I have to confess that I found adhering this piece onto that blank piece there not very easy. So I thought if I get these on first, then that'll be a much closer guide for where I need to be, and it'll give me something to make sure I'm straight against. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this on so I've got the same sort of gap around this corner, around this corner. That looks about right. Yes, that's good. And I'm going to do the other end. Let's turn it upside down. Don't forget to put this piece on upside down. Okay, so I'm going to do the same again, get the same sort of gap. And that looks about right, I think. So now, hopefully, when I put this piece in here, I'm going to be able to line it up. Oh, that's going to be so much easier. I have to confess that my other cards haven't been brilliantly straight doing it like this. Yes, that should be much easier, and it's good. It's got like a handle on it. So let's put some glue on the back here. Get my handles. They're pretty close to the gold edging. Same sort of gap. Making sure that I'm lining up this card here with that there. Make sure that's not coming over the edge there. Make sure it's not over the edge there. Oh, that is so much easier doing it that way. I can't believe I've allowed myself to struggle so much. Yes, brilliant. Okay. So now we need to put this one on, but I've got to decide which design I want. Do I want to use the same design there? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Or do I want to go for a gold design? That looks nice too. What am I doing on the front? Yeah. I've already got these bits prepared because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Coming off you get. Oh, glue. Right, let's imagine that I was going to do that, and I was going to put one of these pieces on. I haven't quite decided which one. Oh, I think that would look better. Where's the one I used before? Oh, these are die cuts off the one of the sheets from the designer series paper. I did go back and buy the dies, but now we've got stamp sets on at stamp sets 15% off at the moment. I think I might go back for it. Right. That one might be a bit too much mistletoe, mightn't it? Let's try this one. Yes, I think I'm going to do that one. Okay. Right, so let's pop this one onto here. Do you know, I don't remember whether I told you all the other card pieces now. I know I did on the first one. I don't think I did I? Okay, let's imagine that I didn't. Forgive me if I did. That'll make the video longer than it needs to be. So this was card 3. In fact, I'm sure I didn't tell you. And the base is very vanilla cardstock, 5 3/4 inches by 4 inches. Then it's got the middle layer of gold, which is 5.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then it's going to have a top of Season of Green and Gold Design Series paper, which measures 5 3/8 inches by 3 5/8 of an inch. So the first card we did was card 1, and I told you about that. This is card 3, and then I'll tell you about card 2. As I say, all the measurements will be in the box below the video. Hopefully including the letter size cardstock for the smaller card as well. Oh, and letter size for this one. It's quite a lot, isn't it? That'd be 2 cards in total of 6 sizes. But we can do it. Right, so right, okay, so I didn't give you this one, did I? This is card number 2. The card base is 5 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And the only layers we put on here were these 2. So you need 2 gold pieces, which measure 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 inches. And then 2 pieces design series paper, which measure 5/8 of an inch by 5 3/8 inches. Okay, because you only put bits on the outside here. There's nothing underneath on this bit, apart from this big card. Right, so now we've done this one, we need to stick this onto here, and then when that is down, you're going to be able to see the 2 side panels here. Alright, what you could do, if you wanted to keep a regular card size, which this front panel is, you could leave that bit off. So what your card would look like is this, but without that bit there. Okay, you just have that bit along there. I hope that makes sense. Right, so keep that up the right way. Are you up the right way? That's the right way. Done all you up the right way? Yep, okay. So I'm going to put glue on this piece here. Now this is nice and easy to do, because first of all you line it up on here and make it go corner to corner, corner to corner, and make sure it's not coming off at the edge at the bottom. Make sure it's on straight. Yes. 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 And yes. Okay, so that's all adhered down nicely. So now what you find when you open up, you've got a blank column there, and that's what this larger size is. Okay, so you can see how much bigger that one is. You can see how much bigger that one is. That is the area I got myself really confused on, which made me have to do take 2 for this video. So let's pop this in. There are 4 blank panels there, which I'll show you in a jiffy, which you could do these extra layers if you wanted to. I don't really think it's necessary because I don't think it really gets seen, but you might disagree with me there. I'll show you what I mean once I've got this piece adhered in position. Make sure it's still up the right way. And there we go. There we go. So our card looks like this when it's closed. Open up and you've got your 4 panels inside. Those are the 4 panels that I don't decorate, but you may decide that you want them done. I don't really think it's necessary, but I think that's really lovely. I'm very pleased with this. Now I'll show you the design I had on this one. Because I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out on here, what I did was I did 3 large circles, 1 gold, 1 garden green and 1 very vanilla, and I did the same with the smaller ones. I've also done the sentiment I'm using, and I'll probably use this. Now before I go any further, I'm going to tell you what stamp sets I've used and what dies I've used. Now first of all, the bow, oh yeah, I've got little bows here ready as well. I've got some in green, and I've got 3 each in each colour here. As I say, I don't know what my colour scheme's going to be. There we go. So the bows are from Reindeer Fun. Not actually a bow here, is there? It's not one of the stamps. Okay. I put this around my stamp sets when they're new, when I haven't used them. So when I'm looking at my shelf, I can see which ones are unused, and then I take that off as soon as I've used it. That was a great idea I picked up years ago from Frenchie, France Martin. Right, so the stamp set, the dies to go with the stamp set are called Reindeer Fun, same as the stamp set, and that's a little die there. Okay, which is that one there. So that I think is going to be a great Christmas set. And this is a die set called Golden Greenery. There is a stamp set, which I didn't buy, but I'm thinking maybe I will go back and get it. This month would be a great idea because it's got the, is it 15% off, I think, for stamp sets? Or is that kits? Is it 10% off? Don't know. And those 2 bells, and that and that, all die cut shapes from the designer series paper. So that's another one really worth having. And then the sentiment is Peace on Earth. Again, another new stamp set that I haven't used yet. And for the circles and for these banners, I've used the stylish shapes. Okay, so the sentiment is with the small narrow, no, large narrow, and the one that I put at the back is the large short one. And for the circles I've used numbers 5 and 6. No, 4 and 5. So it's those two there. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that's what the die cut like, if you haven't bought them and if you're thinking about it. As you know, I'd never get rid of my dies if they are layering dies. So now I've got to decide which way I want this. So I don't think that's a good idea, but maybe it is. If I did that, then I could do that. Or if I think that's too dark, let's put the gold like that, and then I could have the gold there, which I think possibly I do like. Did it the other way round on here. That's the same, but I just changed those around. Let's see what that looks like. What do we think? Do we like that one? Or do we like that one? Let me tip this up a bit for myself. Tip it up a bit. Yep, that way. This is how come I can go to my cardstock sometimes and pick out circles that have already been die cut. And also on the inside I put some of these, didn't I? Again, I've already die cut these ahead of time. I wonder if that would be look better if that's in gold. Right, I'm not going to adhere these in because I think that might look better in gold, and I haven't done it yet, and I don't want my card to go, the video to go on too long. So I will get this finished before I post the blog, so you'll see a photograph of it on the blog, whether it looks good with the green or the if I go for gold. If I go for gold, go for silver, go for green and it's got gold, but if I went for gold ferns, then I would go for green bows, I think. Anyway, the jury's still out on that one. This is what I've done on this one. See, that stands out really nicely, and it's got the little gold bows there as well. That's why I think the gold might look better on there. Okay, so I've got to do that. So I just need to finish off this bit now. And I did have a gold bow on here, so let's do that. As you can see, a lot of impression on there from my cutting plate on my big shop, and that's after putting a piece of paper over it to protect it. But most of it's going to be covered up with this die cut anyway, so I'm not unduly worried about that. You could pop these up on dimensionals if you like, but I think the card is already thick enough that I'm not going to do that. Do you want gold or do you want green? Let's try green on this one. These little bottles are absolutely brilliant for this kind of thing. There we go. I'm going to pop that on there. Just hold that down a bit. That's all right. So this one, I'm only putting glue in the centre part. The sentiment I've stamped using garden green ink. Be careful when you're gluing onto foil. It takes Tombow a little while to actually dry, and it will keep on slipping until it's dried. Now that, I think I decided to put one up. Oh no, I did do it at an angle. Okay, we'll do it at an angle again. There we go. Now I'm just going to put glue on the back of the gold piece here. The cardstock is still moving, the sentiment is still moving on that gold underneath there. And if I can just find a little diamond to put on there, a little diamante. I'm too far over to reach from my drawer, which is where I keep all the little ones. This is all my like spares and leftovers. Oh, here we go. Right, where's my pen? Paper piercer rather. And pop that in there. Oh, while I'm here, while I've got it, I'm going to pop one in there as well. Let's do is that a bigger one? That's a nice shiny one. Oh yes, bigger looks better, doesn't it? Okay, so there we go, that's today's card. I hope I haven't confused you like I confused myself. Lovely card to make. As I say, you could make this just as this single card. Just ignore that panel at the back. Alright, so just forget those bits. It would make a nice card on its own, doesn't it? So I hope you liked today's project. I hope you give it a try. Let me just get my other ones back as well. So it can be a birthday card just as well as Christmas. And those both birthday cards. In the box below I will also list all the ingredients that I've used, excluding the retired product, which is the Flight and Airy Design Series paper. There'll also be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. If you do shop with me during October 24, please use the HOSTESS code so that when I send you your handmade thank you card and thank you gift at the beginning of November, I'll be able to include some free product for you. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do, and please click on the bell icon by the side so you get an email each time I upload a new video. I'd really appreciate that. And also please don't forget to give me a thumbs up that you like my video. Many thanks for joining me today. I look forward to being with you next time. In the meantime, happy crafting. Cheerio.